Hi guys, it's Lucid Layla. I'm so sorry I couldn't post something last week. I just started a new job, so this video is gonna be a little bit postponed. But thanks so much for tuning in. I want to stick to my weekly schedule because I upload videos every week. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I'll get new content every week. I promise. My brain is so toasted right now since I work full time again. So yeah, I definitely want to keep making videos, and this week I would like to share something about dream interpretation. So although I had a couple of really nice lucid dreams, I already shared the ones with the water candy. Basically, I wanted to share a story with you about a normal dream that was not lucid, but that I thought was very meaningful and that I thought was pretty powerful in terms of dream interpretation and meaning. And so I'm just gonna share some experiences that I had with you, and you can let me know whether you think you know how to analyze it. It's a very personal dream, so I'm not gonna and it's a very long dream, so I'm not gonna share every little detail, but whatever is shareable, I'll share it with you. So basically, the dream was that I'm in California, and I'm moving into or checking out a new house that's really close to the beach, and the waves are crashing against the house, and the front door, you see that the waves are crashing against it, and the house is really just one room, like a one room condo, but as a small little house, really poorly constructed, not stable. It's old, and but I'm thinking of moving, so I go into the house and check it out for one day to see if that's something for me. And I love the water, I love the beach, and I go into the house, and there's a window on the side, and I look outside and I see the beach from my room, and it's amazing. And I lay down and I'm pondering, is this a house for me? Is this a place where I could live? Is this something where I could picture myself in? And I'm thinking, whoa, like, this is really close to the beach. It's not a stable house. Literally, like, waves crash against the first wall, and the wall is not even made out of good material. But I remember falling asleep, being like, you know what? Probably I'll get wet feet along the way. Living in this house, someday I'll get wet feet. But you know what? It's fine. Like, even if I get wet feet, as long as the house doesn't come crashing down, that's fine. And I just like the place. But this kind of uncertainty is like a underlying fear or anxiety. And then it's like a break, and I'm in New York, and my grandma's coming to visit me, and all kinds of funny stuff happens. One thing is, I go into the subway and I ride the subway in New York City, although in my dream it's totally messed up. And yes, I'm in New York City, but I have the city map of Berlin, where I used to live, in my head, and I'm trying to ride to the station where my university is in Berlin, but being in New York, it's crazy. And I meet two old friends from Germany, and I'll take a ride with them, and it's nighttime in New York, and that friend literally tells me, it's after 10 p.m., you shouldn't be riding the subway at all. Like, what are you doing out in the night by yourself? It's dangerous, you shouldn't be doing it. By the way, that friend is in real life kind of adapting to the, oh, I'm like approaching 30 now, I should settle, I should not do too crazy stuff, I should get married, have kids, and that's basically it, and my life is over. No offense, but that's not necessarily what I picture to be a perfect life just per se because society wants it. So she tells me, don't go out at night, it's dangerous. What are you doing? You're in a different country, you're on a different continent, you have no one there. And at that moment, I'm like, you know what? I rather get assaulted or die living and going out and experiencing and fully expressing what I want rather than living in a box, in a so-called fake security, in a happy life that's not really happy. It was I was like, I'd rather die in the United States living than and doing what I feel like doing, like going out at night if I have to, rather than living a false life or something like that. And then from that moment there's a switch back again, and I make that statement and it feels good and it feels profound, and it switches back to California, basically to the same space next to the beach. And now it's not directly at the beach but behind the beach in a safe area that's not flooded with ocean and waves, and it's kind of like a wetland or something like that. And I'm standing in front of a little pond slash lake, something in between pond and lake. The area isn't too crazy, it's not super duper nice and posh, it's more like no one is really living there. I'm basically by myself. My parents are there, and my grandma and one friend of mine, and the lake or the pond is really muddy, and around it's a little bit dirty, but I'm standing there by myself and I have this feeling of freedom and space, and it's my own land. I'm standing on my land. Oh dang, I forgot to tell the first part, so I have to jump back in the story real quick. The first house was in the dream. My parents bought the house because it was really cheap and they thought it was a good deal. They bought that house, and then they were kind of like, well, if you want to live in it, check it out. You can have it. So that first really trashy house was bought by my parents, and then in the third scene where I'm in front of the lake, and there is also a house behind me, and that's kind of more stable, and that's not threatened by waves or a beach. And I'm standing in front of the house and I'm looking at that lake, and everything is calm, and my parents are around doing their own thing, minding their business, and I'm wondering, what is this pond like? It looks really muddy, and there's a pole right next to the lake, and I'm thinking, well, I could just stick the pole in and see what's in there, like test the waters, I guess, so to say. And it's so dirty, the water, I don't even see the ground or what's in the pond. And then I pull out the stick, and it's full with crayfish and lobster and mussels. And guys, I love seafood. That's like red gold or like seafood gold for me. There's nothing better than seafood for me. I just recently actually turned into a pescatarian. So the whole pole is full with loads of seafood, and it's incredible. And I stick it in again, and again the whole pole is full with seafood, and I'm like, wow, what the heck? How is this possible? I didn't even expect that from such a muddy pond. I thought, this is not good land, this is not good ground, it's looks basic or cheap, and there's no one here. But I'm standing there with this feeling of freedom, and it's my own land, and no one's disturbing me here anymore, and no one's telling me anything. It's basic, but it's my own, and it's very neutral. So here comes the interpretation. And I got that from this week. Well, it's not a weekly meetup, it's a monthly meetup where a bunch of dreamers meet up in California and we share experiences about lucid dreams or dreams and help each other out. And so basically my situation is this. I just came to the United States to study here, and I'm getting my master's degree and I love it. I really don't see any future for myself in Germany, to be honest. And I have no intention to establish a life there. But if I don't get a job here, or yeah, if I don't get a job or win the lottery, basically, then this is a threat that's always above my head, and it makes me feel insecure, and sometimes I worry about that stuff because I love my life here and it's great. I've never been that much in peace and freedom, being able to connect with people that I feel are nurturing and helping me grow and stuff. So anyhow, basically my parents helped me support my education partially by giving me a credit and, you know, helping me out with the tuition costs. And that's basically my house. Like, they can't care here, but they can support me financially. They can purchase this ticket, this 2-year master studies, and basically give me foundation here, a starting point to live. It's not a stable house, you know? It's something temporary, and literally when you're in that house studying, metaphorically, you feel that this house is not forever. The waves are gonna crash against it, and eventually you're gonna have to move on. Like, there's gotta be a different solution. And that was just such a profound experience. And sorry, I'm kind of trying to remember what I wanted to say. And then there's a flashback to Germany, right, where I'm thinking about it could be dangerous, or you could fail, or certain things are, you shouldn't be doing that, you know, it's risky to live and to pursue. And then I make that conscious decision, no, that's me, and I want to live fully. I don't want to compromise for anything else than what I desire. And from there on, my subconscious mind basically beams me back to California and shows me the next step that's hopefully coming, where I'm able to have my own house that's independent from my parents. It's something that I built for myself, and it's not an immediate threat. It might not be a mansion. I am not a very materialistic person. I live for the experience, I guess, or I would like to live for the experience rather than collecting goods. But it's my own, and in this house, which could be, for example, my first job, no one's messing with me. I'm not dependent on external circumstances or waves crashing against the wall, or my parents that own the house that I'm depending on. It's my own, and it's such a beautiful and peaceful image if you think about it, standing in front of that lake and breathing in, and no one is around, and it's my own land, you know? And then the lake or the pond is kind of metaphorically the job pool, maybe, you know? in my mind right now, I always picture it super hard. Although I know I'm really well qualified, I picture it to be so hard, and it will be a fight and it will be a struggle, and I will have to work really hard to get that job, or to find that employer who sees that this is a really good deal actually hiring me, and I'll get them a good return on investment and stuff. Right now I have all these insecurities and worries, not too much, in the daytime, but obviously subconsciously I'm carrying them, and this got reflected in the dream. There's this pond and there's this lake, and pond or lake, and I think it's so muddy. There's never any fish in there. There's never something nurturing, celery, something that can feed me, something to bring the food on the table. There's never something like that in there. Like, the job pool is just my opportunities, or my chances are low where I'm at, where I'm coming from to find something. And but I try, I put the pole into the lake, and I pull it out, and there's so much opportunities. There's so much seafood, delicious seafood that I love, and no matter where I put the pole in the lake, it's full of opportunities. And yeah, that was the dream. That's my interpretation, or a collective interpretation, not only mine. I didn't even see it that clearly when I woke, but that's what my friends told me, basically. So the first house being metaphorically the house, the 2-year house that's good for 2 years, that my parents helped me with financially, and then the second one where I'm more independent and it's my own, but I had to make that conscious decision of deciding to go with it, and risk to fail, risk to take the challenge, and face it. And I think that's just such a beautiful dream. I don't know, it makes me emotional thinking about it. Obviously, I'm not I cannot tell the future, and that has nothing to do with necessarily precognitive dreams, which makes me think about the next video that I have to make, because I had another precognitive dream, which is kind of funny because it's about Harry Potter. I kind of predicted that whole next upcoming book wherein at a time where I didn't even know about it. So I just read that recently about J.K. Rowling doing that new movie about not movie, but play about Harry Potter that's also gonna come out as a book. I'm like, wait a minute, just 2 weeks ago I had such a weird dream that exactly talked about that storyline, and at that time I was like, why the heck do I dream about Harry Potter? I don't even think about Harry Potter. There's not even a reason for me to think about it. And yeah, but anyhow, that's a different story. I think that was just such a beautiful dream of my subconscious mind working through stuff or processing stuff, and maybe encouraging myself subconsciously to go for it. And I just wanted to know if what do you guys think? Is dream interpretation a thing? Do you think that dreams mean something, and do you think there's one interpretation for all? I see it from a distant place, and I'm like, I don't think you can draw a sharp line, and I don't think there's one interpretation that's necessarily always the same, and I think it varies from person to person. But I don't think that dreams don't have meanings at all, never, and I don't think they don't have any task, in your life. There's definitely a reason why you dream, and I think it has to do with subconscious processing and personal development and getting rid of fears or something like that. And yeah, let me know if you have any other explanation for this dream. I mean, I shared so many details with you guys. maybe you have a different interpretation, share that with me in the comments. And if you like that or if it was helpful at all, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That's gonna help also other people to discover the video, because I don't know if you guys know how the YouTube algorithm works, but if you subscribe to people or give it a thumbs up, or if you share it, or if you add it to your playlist, then the video gets kind of more promoted and gets put on top of the search algorithm. So that always helps. And if you like to support me in some other way, I have a Patreon website where you can actually donate with PayPal or credit card or however you want to do it. Because I like to share stories with you and I would like to do so much more, but I'm so sad. Like the last 2 weeks I've been working full time, starting a new job, and I just feel how it's taken away so much time out of my day, because I'm doing an internship, and is a little bit exhausting. But anyhow, this video is way too long already, so I'm gonna say bye to you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I hear a lot of cool stuff in the comments from you guys, maybe some ideas for other videos. And until then, stay lucid, stay awake, or awake in the first place. And by that I mean also being awake in waking life, because so many people just don't really awake from this universal dream of reality. Let's end this video like that. Give you a philosophical line at the end. Bye bye.